Virtual reality of Temple Sinai. Our service tonight begins in our prayer book, Mishkan Tefillah. As they say, you can't tell the players without a program. So if you don't have a prayer book, you need to get one. And we have many of them in the back. We're going to turn to page 10. Page 10. And sing together, Hine Mato.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד.
Jake? Before Jake begins leading us, I would like to implore you, beg you, to take your cell phones and turn them off and put them away for the rest of the service. We would like them not to ring during the service, and that would help us create a sacred time here. So our service continues now on page 6.
May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to
young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. And now we turn back in our prayer book to page 2 and 3. I want to invite up Wei Ping, Anne Maria Gullub, and Shuran Wu, and Henry. Come on up. Come on up and join us at the candles. Come on up. Come on, we don't bite.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Yeah, I'm having troubles.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, go. Blessing.
All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahid lik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who calls us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle light of our Shabbat.
Now, since October 7 of 2023, every Shabbat we've gathered, we have lit a candle for the hostages in Israel. And we hope and pray that their ordeal will end soon. And we hope that they will all be able to come home and rejoin their families. And so we offer this prayer, Baruch atah Adonai matir asurim. Blessed is God, who is the Redeemer of the captives. And each Shabbat we turn in our prayer book to page 374 and rise as a community facing the Israeli flag and join together with the words of Hatikvah. Kol halevav penima nefesh Yehudi tomiyah uvatem Yisrael kadima ayin letzion toviyah olo amda tikvatenu hatikva bat shnot alpayim להיות החופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות החופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים. May the hostages come home soon and the hope that Israel is become realized. Amen. Thank you. Please turn in your prayer books to page 8.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created, and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illuminate all of us, and to bring that vision to life.
We continue now with Psalm 95 on page 12 of your prayer book. Adonai So Shabbat would not be complete without Lecha Dodi. So let's turn to page 20. The tradition is that this song welcomes in the Shabbat as the Shabbat bride. And the next 24 hours are this unique spiritual marriage between us and the Shabbat. Page 20.
Lecha Dodi, Ikrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabela. Lecha Dodi, Ikrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabela. Lecha Dodi, Ikrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Yishmi'anu el ha'yuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad V'shemo tiveret v'litila Lecha Dodi Ikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela Lecha Dodi Ikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela Ikrat Shabbat Yechu B'necha Yihi Mekor HaBeracha Nerot Keren Nesucha Sof Ma'aseh B'machshavat Tefila Lecha Dodi Ikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela Lecha Dodi Ikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela.
Verse 5.
Orech Rumidori Uri Uri Shir Daveri Kevod Adonai Alayich Nigla Lecha Dodi Ikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela Lecha Dodi Ikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat
Please rise and face the door you entered through.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha u'zola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Lecha Dodi Ikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela Lecha Dodi Ikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela Lecha Dodi Ikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela Lecha Dodi Ikrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Kabela.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
You may be seated. Let's turn now in our prayer books to page 26. Page 26 as Jake continues to lead us.
Yitgedal v'yitgeda Shemei Rava.
Amen.
B'al Divira, Fiute, Fiamli, Malchute,
Chayechonu v'yomechon uchayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagala ubizman kariv
Vimeru,
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olamon Me'olmaya Yibarach
Yit bara v'yishtava v'yit pa'ar v'yitraman v'yit naseh v'yit hadar v'yit hale v'yit halal shemei dukudisha b'richu le'olam min kol berata v'shirata
Tushbechata v'nechemata Tamiram be'oma v'meru. Amen.
We now turn to page 28 and rise as able for Baruch Hu.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Page 30.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bibarot ma'ariv aravim
Chokma ateh she'arim uvidvina mishane itim umachalif et hazmanim u'mesader et hakochavim v'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'hoshech mipnei or u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla u'ma'avdil ben yom u'vein layla Adonai Tzvaot Shemo El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Imlo Chayenu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim. Continue on page 33.
As you taught Torah to those names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mysteries beckon, see I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me, do you mean to struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Shemo Yisrael. Please turn to page 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. Keep going.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol lavacha v'chol nafshecha
V'chol me'odecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'laktecha b'derech v'shokbecha u'v'kamecha וקראתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אלוהיכם. Adonai
Elohei, amen.
We continue on the top of page 39.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we are taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nenar b'kodesh. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nenar b'kodesh. Norah tehilot, otzeh beleh. Norah tehilot, otzeh beleh. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. B'chutzecha la'lanecha, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים. צאלינו ועמנו, צאלינו ועמנו. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נראה בקודש. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נראה בקודש. נורא תהילות, עוצם בלב. נורא תהילות, עוצם בלב. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Let's continue now on page 43 at the top.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelters from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up wanting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai,
Hapores Shabbat Shalom Aleinu, V'al Amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדור ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדור ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדור ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם.
You're done. Good job. Turn your microphone off. So let's turn now to page 46, where as a community we rise as able for tefillah. Page 46.
Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah.
Page 50.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב מושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, קדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
And let us all say, Amen. You may be seated. We continue now on the top of page 55. Let's read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. May all
day fulfill
fulfill
its
its
promise.
promise.
Baruch,
Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh
HaShabbat.
HaShabbat. Together on the bottom of page 57. You are with us in our prayer, in our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yir'ah na'avod. On the top of page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. We continue now with Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amacha, Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amacha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amacha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amacha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amacha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amacha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
In our journey of life, finding opportunities to meditate, to create space between the world out there and the world in here are hard to find. But now we have one. So let's take a moment. Use this time to offer your own private prayer. Please pray silently.
Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
So now we turn our thoughts to the people who are struggling, those whose lives are hard from illness or challenge. And so we offer this prayer of healing for those in our community and beyond who are in need of healing this Shabbat. Joan Adler, Bill Ellis, Dora Lipper, Iris Rockman, Joan Rich, Aaron Kugler, Alan Levin, Karen Ellis, Judith Levy, David Belkin, Gary Haberkorn-Halm, and Scott Hertz. And we lift up those we carry with us in our own hearts, and if you have names to offer, please call them out. Please turn to page 253 as we join together in our prayer for healing.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May the Holy One of Blessing bring healing to all those that we've named out loud and in our own hearts. And may God find each of us on the journey of life in the week ahead and remind us of God's nearness and uplift us as we walk through the world. Amen. So, I feel in a storytelling mood tonight. And I thought I would share with you a parable from Reb Nachman of Bratslav, one of my favorite storytellers. Reb Nachman was the great-grandson of the Baal Shem Tov, who was the greatest storyteller. And he lived from 1772 to 1810. He was a storyteller and a teacher who combined the esoteric secrets of Judaism, Kabbalah, mysticism, with in-depth Torah scholarship. Reb Nachman's religious philosophy revolved around the word devekut, cleaving to God, and speaking to God in normal conversation, as you would with a best friend. The concept of hitbodedut, that kind of unique spiritual love, is central to his thinking. So here's a story. Reb Nachman was walking with Rabbi Nathan, his greatest disciple, through the town, and they passed a fenced yard that was guarded by dogs. These were vicious, half-starved, mad beasts that rushed up to the edge of the property to lunge, bark, and howl at the two Jews walking past. The disciple did what any of us would have done. He jumped back at their barking. He picked up his pace and he cast those dogs a stern glance, hoping the fence was well secured. But Nachman, he didn't jump at all. He didn't react like we would. Instead, he stopped. He stayed at the fence and just said in a patient, calm, sympathetic voice, I know. Later, Nachman explained to Nathan that those dogs weren't just dogs. They were souls trapped in the bodies of dogs. Souls caught in the cycle of ascent and descent. And as they were not human, never mind Jewish, they couldn't perform the necessary change to ascend back to God. Whereas the disciple heard only angry, ferocious beasts ready to devour him, Nachman heard the cries of pain of those who could not recover their own spiritual selves. And it would be his job, Nachman's job, to help release them of their pain, to find a way to descend in order to help those dog-trapped souls ascend. What are we to make of this story? Kind of strange, isn't it? Most of us don't know how to talk to dogs, or at least identify when the dogs have an existential crisis. But more to the point, most of us, I fear, miss the spiritual element of a moment, of an encounter, as easily as Nathan missed the souls trapped in those vicious dogs. To be sure, we hear cries of pain in victims of violence, in those who are running from the flames in the west, to those digging out from snows in the east, in those trying to rise from poverty, from hunger, from abuse. God willing, we may even heed those cries and try to bring some sort of relief. But whether it's in our own lives or in the lives of others, do we see, like Nachman, the element of holiness, the spirit, the godliness of every moment? This week, in the Torah, Jacob, in exile from his home, fleeing under the threat of violence from his brother Esau, without a friend in the world, dreams of a ladder with the angels descending and ascending. After this dream, he proclaims, Achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh v'anochi lo yadati. God was in this place, and I didn't really know it. It's a favorite verse of mine, as well as numerous commentators. Larry Kushner wrote a whole book on it. Julie Silver wrote a song about that one verse, and they all focus on the moment of discovery, that point in when we, like Jacob, acknowledge the God encounter in our lives. It's the moment we all seek. Maybe even during the past week, we struggled to see God moments through the mist of darkness that seems never ending. Isn't that our hope? To see or at least feel the divine in our lives as we walk in this world? Oh, were it only that easy. Most of the time, I think we feel the absence of God. We seek divine touches and feel like we walk untouched through life. We hope for a voice in the wilderness, but hear only our own heartbeat. Instead of the cries of our own spiritual longing, like Nathan, we only hear the sounds of dogs barking. Some of it lay, of course, in our image or images of God and how they prove to be stumbling blocks. The author, Roger Kamenetz, in his wonderful book, The Jew in the Lotus, reminds us that our images are sometimes dissatisfying. He writes, we collect portraits of God throughout our lives, beginning in childhood, and we often we become dissatisfied with our old portraits and seek new ones. Child or adult, atheist, agnostic, just plain confused, we never feel satisfied with the portraits we carry of God. Yeah, even the atheist carries an image of the God he doesn't believe in. Find that curious, right? Some of it lay in our collective spiritual searching. How can we find the divine in the midst of our own wanderings? Can we silence the noise in the world? Can we focus our heart? Can we open our eyes just a little wider? Maybe like Jacob, it takes a wandering in the wilderness moment. It takes a personal journey, maybe even a fleeing, to get to the place of awareness. But some of it is our own inability to recognize the holiness in the other. Jacob couldn't see Esau. He only saw himself. We become so involved in our own selves, in our own cycle of ascent and descent, in our own needs, that we often become blind to other people's presence. All of us have experienced this in some way or another. So Jacob, so wrapped up in his own fleeing from his brother Esau, finds himself isolated and alone in the wilderness, where finally the silence leads him to focus. His awareness suddenly sharpened, his eyes and ears wide open. He senses the angels, his better self, perched on a ladder, reaching up to God. It was always there. He just could not see it before. And he becomes acutely aware of the presence of the Holy One in his life. For Reb Nachman, there was no such thing as a meaningless encounter. Indeed, every moment was full of meaning, of potential holiness, of opportunities for spiritual ascent. In the barking of a dog, Nachman saw deeper. Nathan only saw anger. But when we can see deeper into the souls of the people around us, we can have profound experiences. I truly believe that there is a truth, profound truth, in this. And more than that, when we see God in the moment, we increase the beauty and the awareness and the spirit and grow our own selves. Jacob said, Achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh, v'anochi lo yadati. Surely God is in this place and every place. And too frequently, we fail to see God's presence. May we strive to do better, to hear the souls of those who cry out. May we strive to truly see God in the face of those we encounter. When I was a young rabbi, it's a long time ago, my colleague that I worked with said, everybody stop, look into the eyes of your neighbor. Okay? Everybody do it. Look into the person sitting next to you. Stare into their eyes. Okay? If you look closely enough, if you stare deeply enough, what do you see but yourself, reflected in their eyes back at you? You see, we are all created in the divine image, and sometimes we lose sight of that fact and believe that the divine only imagines us. So let us commit to truly try and see God in the face of all whom we encounter. Amen. Taya.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and Mazel Tov, right? Yes. Welcome to our members, guests, and virtual congregations or congregants. We hope that your participation in this Shabbat has been meaningful, and I'd like to wish Jake and his family Mazel Tov on the occasion of becoming a B'nai Mitzvah. It's a wonderful simcha. Please join us tomorrow morning at 10:30 as Jake will again help to lead services and read from Torah. And then I'm going to share some upcoming events you may be interested in. If you are a family member with a child in the school, please join the new Sinai PTO. It's free and it will allow you to meet other parents and help out our school in ways that are meaningful to you. This is new. We've never had this at Temple Sinai, and we're just really grateful for one of the parents that are organizing this, so it's the future. Our next Temple Sinai out is on Saturday, December 14th. That is tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, no, next week. At 6 p.m., North China Restaurant. It's an early Jews and Chinese food event for the season. Please RSVP by December 11th to Susan Hertz. And Friday, December 20th, for Hanukkah Shabbat dinner and service at 6 p.m., the women of Temple Sinai are sponsoring, and there will be a latke contest. So if you know how to make latkes, make a batch of latkes, bring your latkes. If you don't know how to make latkes, learn how to make latkes and just experiment, get a little creative, have fun. There's no limits. You could make blue latkes, you could make regular latkes, you could put onions in them, you could put apples in them. I mean, you could put anything in them, really. Anyway, so come, bring your latkes, and the details are in the weekly shofar. If you are a 50-plus Jewish single, come to Temple Sinai on December 25th for Better Together Hanukkah party. Dinner, drinks, fun, and games will be there, and there is an RSVP for this. And the Better Together is a Jewish single group that meets all over Houston monthly or bi-monthly, so it's a nice opportunity for you to meet people if you're over the age of 50 or just on the cusp. All right, And then please join us for Kiddush, Motzi, and Oneg following the service. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. So let's turn now in our prayer books to page 283, 283. And I want to invite up Ethan and Nathan, not the Nathan of the story. Ethan and Nathan, come up and open the ark. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה לעשר בראשית, שהוא שם אלוקינו לייחד את שמו, וגור עלינו להמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Next page. שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, והשבות על לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. You may be seated. At this sacred time, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and our neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, those of every race, every nation and faith whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We turn to page 289 as we read together selection number 2. In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death all reveal the divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love are we comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts, and fill our spirits with abiding trust in you. This Shabbat we mark the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of their death. For Nancy Balser, good friend of Dora Lipper. Henry Lurie, father of Richard Lurie. John Garcia, father of Beth Zephyr. Fanny Greenberg, the aunt of Janet Godfrey. Ellen Schlafer, the mother of Joyce Boyne. Joe Ziglin, grandfather of Gail Lurie. Paul Adler, father of Diane Adler and husband of Lenore Adler. Kenny Baum, brother-in-law of Susan Hertz. Bertha Habercorn, mother of Toby Singhania. And Marvin Hertz, husband of Janice Hertz and brother-in-law of Susan Hertz. And if you have any additional names to lift up this Shabbat for Yahrzeit, please call them out. For all of them, may their memories be a blessing. As together we turn to page 294 and rise as a community for Kaddish. Yet Gadal v'yet Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'alama Devarach Irute V'amlech Malchute V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael B'agala v'zman kariv v'meru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Elomei Olamaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach Par v'yitramam v'yitnaseh Yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei d'kudsha b'richu Le'elam in kol birchata v'shirata Tushbachata v'nechemata Damiran v'yalama v'yimru Amen. Yehei Shalom Rabba min Shemaya V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mromav v'yaseh Shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and bring comfort to those who are bereaved among us. And let us all say, Amen. You may be seated. We conclude our service on page 338 with Od Yavo. That's not the right page. I wrote the wrong page. Imagine that. I think it's 358. We'll find the right page.
Eventually. Page 353 at the bottom.
353. Yeah, there it is. 353.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
So peace, as fleeting as it is in the world in which we live right now, is still our highest hope and our noble dream. And may we all work towards that goal of finding peace in the world and being peacemakers when given the chance. Shabbat Shalom. Mazel Tov, Jake, you're on your way. And let's join together in the lobby for Kiddush and Motzi.